Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people, here again. I want to see if I can share a little message with you, and my hope is that it could help in this process of being delivered from the bondage of the world. And I call this death, fresh start. Most of us are afraid of dying. What about yourself? Are you afraid of death? I bet most of you are. And some of you will say that you're not afraid of death, you just don't want to deal with what seems to always be associated with death, and that's pain. Yeah, well, I tell you, pain has a way of doing that to people, and everybody wants to stay away from it, but every now and then it always seems that you get caught up in it. But anyway, in order to kind of give you a little thought that I have and share with it perhaps a meaning, I want to see if I can take a biblical story that many of us as Americans are familiar with, or Christians, wherever you might be. You've heard the story about the angels in heaven. This was supposedly before men were created. Angels in heaven, and you have to use your imagination. The angels are not just there in heaven. They got responsibilities. They got duties to do. And some of those duties and responsibilities has to do with maintaining heaven, has to do with maintaining themselves in heaven, has to do with keeping alive that which makes heaven. And they say that everybody had choice, obviously had choice. Everybody had different responsibilities and duties. And one of those who had a responsibility and duty was associated with entertainment. And supposedly there came a time when, for some strange reason, I would have said like this, got big-headed, and felt that everybody loved what was about this particular one, that he believed that he was more important than the rest of them. He really believed it. He started boasting and saying that he was even could handle things in heaven better than the maker of heaven, and talk much smut, chest out, putting everybody down, telling why you could be superior. And a lot of people, a lot of angels went for that. But something happened. In heaven, there were more people who believed in the heavenly way than they believed in this mutiny. And so, to resolve the situation, they were discarded. Now, so you can understand that story that I just shared with you. That's just like Donald Trump that walks on the scene, thinks everybody's a liar, thinks everybody can be bought, and thinks that if you're bold enough, you say it enough, you'll take a lie and turn it to the truth 1,000 times, and don't care what you say. You got an opposite answer if it is appropriate. That's the same story. Now what happens is that in heaven, the heavenly host decided that it was bigger. So it couldn't stay, that resistance couldn't stay. Here in humankind, here right here on earth, America and the rest of the globe where humans inhabit, the opposition is so big, it's been there for so long, until it makes it seem that if anybody stand up with light, and I mean really stand up glorifying the opposition, then it's just like being in heaven with that sin. To be in hell with that truth and that light, it has no place here. The people, the powers that be, all of the will of the people alone going with the way things are. It nullifies the ability for this light to have any effect there at this time. The light is always a light, but what happens if the light stays here, it's going to have a positive effect, and it will move the darkness. Now that facilitator of the darkness knows that, and so that's why it killed and snapped out. Killed and snapped out. So the same thing happens. In heaven, sin got to go. On earth, heavenliness got to go. Until you straighten it out, it got to go. So what I'm saying is, the reason, you might say, well, why do I have to go? Let me see, I made a note here. Yeah, the fallen angels that, oh yeah, let me put it to you this way. Now, I told you about Trump And I told you about the hell, the devil up in hell, right? I gave you a comparison of those two. Now, the fallen angels, those that believed and empowered that old devil, that's just like those people who are empowering Trump. Doesn't care what lie he says, what he says about them, how stupid they are, he says. They still love him. That's the same as those there. Now, in heaven, the more empowered God with their choice, or they kicked it out. You heard me say that. Today, Lucifer, or you heard me say that. You are with them, against them, over the good. Oh, yeah, you know one thing they always tell you about here. They say, you either you're with us or you're against us. You hear the president say that. You're with us or you're against us. That's what comes to those people with the enlightenment. The world comes to you and say, you with us? Which means you got to throw up your hand and say, I give, I'm with you. Or stand against it and say, I'm not. And then that's when you die. But God got a wonderful plan for you. Just like the devil, when they lied and started corrupting stuff in heaven, they were kicked out. That was their death. When we do stuff here, we all go through our little death stuff. The key of it is why we die. We're going to die anyway. We all know that. And then we got a choice. Why we die? I got to get back. I got my daughter. Got to take her someplace. I might not release this. I just want to put it on tape